Well, today we have a frontier style Tomahawk hatchet with the collaboration of CRKT and RMJ in the NOBO. And in this video, you're gonna get a lot of this. You're gonna get some of this.
Yeah, you got it. Perfect. Now,
and a whole lot of this. And I can tell you from the get-go, guys, that this is just a fun tool to have around the campsite. It is. It's a blast. It's, you know, classic in its design. It's extremely well balanced, tons of fun, and is a decent tool around the campsite to get work done, regardless if you're hammering tent pegs, splitting a little bit of wood, and doing some chopping.
nice.
All right, let's go ahead and hit this head. We're looking at 1055 drop forged steel, which is a really tough steel the way that they've heat treated it. I was really impressed right out of the box when I knew that it was 1090 or 1055. I was like, oh man, this thing is gonna like dull and chip and roll like right away. And I was really pleased that with the way that they've heat treated this, not only has this held up really well to rust, we left this overnight in 2 different rainstorms, let it get sopping wet, you know, then let it dry out, and there are no, you know, rust spots or issues to speak of, which is super nice. And then it just held an edge really well, a lot better than I was expecting with the heat treat that they're doing. So that's really good. Now the blade itself is going to be 3.47 inches overall, so just a hair under 3.5 inches overall blade length here. You do have this beard right here that you could sharpen up if you want to. It is not sharp at all. I would never worry about cutting myself on that. It is a cool aesthetic flair, and then if you want to take the time, you could totally sharpen that up. If you wanted to make this more of like a combat style tomahawk, you could absolutely do that. And then you're looking at a maximum thickness back here right before it starts hitting out around the handle of 0.49, so just a hair under 1/2 inch thick, which is really nice to see. So this is my one issue with the head. It came very dull out of the box. I was not happy with the actual edge geometry. Now it held its edge really well, but with the micro bevel and then just the way that they've ground this in, this is going to definitely need some work if you're really going to get the most effective use out of this tomahawk. I would have liked to see the edge geometry like they have on some of their T-Hawks, their like Chogan that we've reviewed, and some of the other tactical tomahawks like the Rune. Those came fantastic out of the box, razor sharp, ready to work and get to work. And this was pretty dull, so you really had to power through with a lot of the chopping. So it took me a lot longer than even some of my big knives out of the box. Now with some fine tuning and probably a grinder, honestly, either a grinder or, you know, you just want to take about 2-3 hours on a coarse diamond stone to really reprofile this like you need to get the ability to not only make feather sticks but really bite in. That is where you'll see the most versatility. So know that you're getting a pretty dull tomahawk that's really not going to get a lot of work done for you out of the box, but with some fine tuning and not too much effort, you can get so really take some huge chunks out without too much effort and can even make feather sticks. The splitting capability was phenomenal. We're really impressed with what it could do. Now again, this is not like a camp axe, this is a tomahawk, so it's not designed to, you know, split a huge amount of wood and you're going to be sitting there for an hour cracking, you know, wood open. But for the splitting that we did, super happy, super pleased, bit right in and then, you know, split it really, really well. But just wasn't really happy with the original grind angle. Would have liked to see that sharper and, you know, and seen that with a more usable edge out of the box without me having to tune it up right away. So with the handle, it's going to be just over 19 inches long, which is great. I like the tomahawks and axes that are out there that are more in that like 14 to 20 range. It gives you a lot of sweep, gives you a lot of power behind it, and they're not too compact. So I really like that. You got that tapering Hickory USA made handle that flares as it goes towards the head. It's just a friction head, but man, have they jammed this on here. And I've had some other friction tomahawks before and hatchets that, you know, almost right away, if you just go like this and tap it on something, you know, the head's gonna fall right off and you're constantly trying to get that friction on there. That is not the case. I don't know what they did to jam this on there. You can even see the wood is kind of flaring up, but this thing is tight on there after throwing it at a stump a bunch of times. I hammered in, I think probably, excuse me, probably 15, you know, tent pegs around our campsite. And then done a bunch of chopping, and there's no play, no wobble on this. I mean, over a long period of time, maybe you'll experience a little bit of that. You can obviously do leather or paracord wrap down here to kind of keep the head on, but I really like not only just the friction that they decided to go with, because it's seated on there well, and just the style of the handle overall. The other thing that was interesting to me that I really wasn't expecting is that because, you know, it's a lacquered handle, no lanyard hole, and it's tapering narrower down here, I was expecting it to want to just fly out of my hand, but I never once had to reset or, you know, like, oh man, I'm losing my grip when I was really going at some of those trees, taking down a few of those trees and chopping through the wood. So I like the grip as well. And obviously you guys can do whatever you want. You could drill a hole through there. You can do all kinds of stuff. And the head has been sat rather well. You know, I'm still learning somewhat about tomahawks and axes, but how it's on the angle, if you will, of the handle, you know, it's not cockeyed to one side. They did a really good job, you know, centering it right down the middle there. So ergonomically, I think they did a great job giving us that kind of old school frontier style friction, you know, tomahawk axe in, you know, a modern context. So let's go ahead and talk price, and you might hear a little bit of yelling or see a little GT Junior running around doing a little father-son time in the backyard, having a good time, and I figured I would knock some of these videos out also while we're having a good time as the season is changing. Now the price on this is going to be about 40 bucks on Amazon. We'll have links in the description below. That's a great way to help support the channel, helps us get out there, test these out like what you're seeing in this video, and give you guys full comprehensive reviews. Now for that price, there are a couple other companies that make very similar tomahawks in this same style for a little bit less. I'm thinking of Cold Steel. Theirs are about 30 bucks. So the issue with those are that right out of the gate, you can knock the heads right off. The friction is not well done on those heads. And you can tell that just the quality isn't quite to the standards as these tomahawks. And they tend to be a little bit longer and a little bit heavier. So that's the trade-off. It's still made out of 1055 steel. And those sheaths that they offer, you're going to pay more for, and they're usually their type of nylon. They're not going to be the U.S. leather like you're getting on the NOBO. So it's a little bit more expensive, but I believe you're getting a higher quality item just in its finish and its put, you know, how they put it together, how they set the head. It's a little bit larger in the head, and then the high quality features like the leather sheath over you know, a cheap nylon sheath that you get with other companies that are producing similar friction head tomahawks. Now the sheath is going to be about 25 bucks on the CRKT website. I will have links over there because that's the only place I can find it, which is really weird. I can't find it on Amazon, I can't find it on eBay, and I can't really find it on any other sites that I've looked around. So if you want the sheath, you're gonna have to go to the CRKT website and pay full price. I would love to see this get on some more distributors down the line so that more people can get their hands on this and get, you know, a better, you know, price point package. So right now what I'm seeing is you're gonna be paying about $65 to $70 for the entire package. So you really need to decide, you know, are you going to get a lot of versatility and a lot of use out of this style of tomahawk? I think you're getting, when you're spending that money, you're buying this more for not only the feel of like that friction held tomahawk notoriety, but a little bit higher quality than some of the other companies that are producing similar tomahawks. Now you need to decide, is it really worth $70? Because not only CRKT, but other companies as well. I'm thinking of my Husqvarna right here, 13-inch camp axe, you know, drop forged in Sweden, comes with a leather scabbard. This thing's gonna be like 40 bucks. Now, not only is this not gonna be as cool as the NOBO, this is gonna be a lot heavier. So that's something also that if you're gonna do a lot of packing out, maybe the NOBO is the better feature. I'm definitely not gonna wanna throw this thing around. The NOBO is a lot more fun to throw and get stuck into wood and just have a good time around the campsite. So there's a huge fun factor that I believe comes with the NOBO that you're not gonna get with your average camp axe. But if you're looking for pure performance around a campsite, right? CRKT makes a few, as well as there are a lot of other companies out there making true camp axes that would actually be a better, probably wood processor for you. So I purchased the Sheath. CRKT sent the Tomahawk to me. I want to thank them for their willingness to do that, so I can give you not only a full comprehensive review, give you my thoughts and feelings of it, but also so that you can see it in action so that you can make the best choice on spending your hard-earned money. So in conclusion, now I've had this for about 3 months now, used it extensively on multiple trips. The head is starting to give me just a little bit of wobble there. I still can't knock it out. You know, if I pound on it, I can't get it to fall out yet. Over time, that will eventually happen. That's with every friction held axe or tomahawk. So I would probably end up, I'm gonna do probably some form of paracord or leather wrap just to kind of keep that head on there so I don't have to constantly be, you know, trying to friction get it back into place. There's a lot of cool customizations that you can do with this. And just honestly, in my overall feeling is this is just a really fun tool. Now, it is a great, I think, pack tool for those of you who like the feeling of a tomahawk more than an actual camp axe, and you're going to be doing lots of trekking, so you want the power and capability of an axe when it comes to splitting and chopping, but you don't want to carry the weight of, like, you know, a CRKT full camp axe, or like my Husqvarna, which is almost like a third more the weight. This will give you a little bit more reach, give you a little more, you know, capability in that sense, and be a little more lightweight. If you like to throw axes around a campsite, obviously do that all at your own risk and be safe when you do that. But I mean, this has a ton of fun capability of just throwing it and, you know, practicing it, really well balanced with that capability as well. And there's just a really cool factor to this CRKT NOBO. I mean, it's a blast. I have no plans to get rid of this thing. I'm going to keep this around. And in fact, don't tell my dad, I'm going to be getting one for him, because he loved it when we were on our camping trip so much. He was like, this is so much fun. He doesn't need a camp axe. He's got a couple survival knives and other things, but I am totally going to get him this for Christmas, I think, to gift to him. Buy a second one for him. I'm going to keep this one just to give him some fun when he goes out camping with my mom now that he's retired, and just have a lot of fun, because I know he had a blast using this, not only as a functional tool around the campsite, but then, you know, throwing it at stumps and, you know, just having entertainment around the campsite as well. So guys, I hope this video has helped you out decide if the NOBO is the right friction tomahawk and just tool for you or not. That's what I always try and do here, is give you guys a full comprehensive video so that you guys can make that wise choice. As always, thank you so much for coming over here. Please subscribe, comment, like, share this video. Love to hear your guys' thoughts, answer any questions that you have in the comments below. Check us out on all the social media as well. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. That's a great way to see what's up and coming, things we're working on. And finally, always remember, stay equipped, stay prepared. We'll see you out there.